Hi explorers, please join us today as we find an amazing viewpoint and then visit the Gateway Arch for the first time, including a ride to the top. The afternoon before visiting the arch, we went to Malcolm W. Martin Memorial Park. Here you can get some of the best views of the arch, and there's even a webcam at the top of the observation deck, so you can tell your family and friends you're there, and they can see you posing with the arch. If you're there at sunset, you'll see the sun somewhere under the arch. Quite a view from right here. We haven't even climbed up there yet. And then E is the historic old courthouse, so I'll show you that. See that greenish roof there? So this is the whole area. When you start to get close to the arch, you realize how massive it really is. I pre-purchased our tickets. Use your National Park Pass for discounts on activities. Next, you go through security. Come down and you see these screens of bison. It's kind of cool. We walked a little of the museum on our way to get in line for the tram to the top of the arch. There's a display showing what you will see after riding to the top. We boarded the tram and rode to the top. If you're claustrophobic, you may not enjoy this experience. Then we're at the top. You get out of your tram seat and walk around for a bit before riding back down. Looking west is Missouri. We spent a while going through the museum. There's really so much here.
Early RV. We're thinking about getting this one to replace ours.
May 17th, 1849, there was a huge fire and it destroyed the St. Louis riverfront overnight. Some of the dishes that they used. This is a Mormon hand cart. Treatments of all kinds became suspect when the cholera epidemic struck in 1849. In the aftermath of the Great Fire, St. Louisans died of cholera in 1849. No one knew that cholera was spread by drinking bacteria-infected water. Model of a covered wagon. This is some kind of ship's wheel. Steamboat pilot's wheel. Yeah, huge. Oh, the American fur trade. St. Louis merchants reaped a profit over 1.5 million 19th century dollars a year. Furs, and there's a horn of an animal. They made purses and knives. And that's what trappers used to catch the animals. Beaver trap. Examples of coins. Medals. Honored American Indian leaders with special medals. Some of the Native American artifacts. Things that the Indians used. pictures of the different Indians and where they live, their teepee. The only African American on the Lewis and Clark expedition, York was the only member who had no choice about whether or not he would go, because he was a slave. So on the Lewis and Clark discovered some new things. Imagine trying to explain a weird-looking insect to a friend who has never seen it, and you will have an idea of the task given to Lewis and Clark. Think about how you would describe these plants, insects, and animals. St. Louis was founded on February 15th, 1764. It's my brother's birthday. Fur trade products. St. Louis began as a busy trading post. Here's a deerskin hide. A tanned deer hide. Oh, they used it for things like making a handle. Many houses of this size in the colonial town.
Just don't put your hands on it.
There's the fireplace. Very small. There's the other door. Here's a dugout canoe. If it was really this thick. Rivers were the first superhighways. It says rights changed under the Americans. After Louisiana Purchase, women lost many rights. Legally, husbands and firstborn sons had priority. Women could not keep property they brought to a marriage, and juries composed of male citizens heard legal cases rather than the lieutenant governor. They say they used buffalo hides as drive belts in the factories. We also watched a documentary on the building of the arch, which was truly amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and please come back next week when we take a riverboat ride here at the park. Bye now.